What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I took a loss, and I took a loss on my day off. It's not, it's never really a good feeling whenever you take a loss on your day off. Um, because it's like you lost money today, and at your job, when you work, you always gain money. There's no prospect of you losing money, but in trading, it's so different, right? You always have the prospect of losing money today, and today I lost money. I don't think I traded so poorly today, but I think my timing was not good. And I think also too, trading during the day is something I normally don't do, right? What I normally do is I trade at night, right? I say this in all of my videos, but I trade Asian session. So when I trade Asian session, it's a little bit different. The market moves a little bit different compared to during the day. But I wanted to give a stab at it today because I wasn't able to trade last night. And of course, what happened last night, my setup was there. I was watching it, but I just wasn't home. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and whoever's watching. I hope your mother had a good Mother's Day if you're in the US. But yeah, it was Mother's Day weekend. I didn't get a chance to trade last night. But I looked while it was happening. I was like, oh, this is my setup. I would normally take this, and it would have been a great winner. I wouldn't have worried about trading today. But of course, me trying to get to that $2,000 goal, me trying to pass all of my other combines as well. I wanted to trade today, um, and it didn't work. So let's kind of go over it today. You see my executions here as well. We'll go on replay on TradingView and kind of show what I was thinking for my trades today. So usually during the day, I don't normally trade during the day, but I decided that okay, during the day today, I'm going to trade around from 11:30. Again, same thing, 2 hours of data using volume profile, right? So here we're at 11:30. I decided to take my first trade here, right? So on this candle here, why did I take my first trade here? Because right here, again, the green boxes aren't going to be what they were before. If I make it to what it was before, I'm going to shift that. We had broken this zone here and we were waiting for a pullback, right? So we waited, got the pullback, then got a nice huge red body candle here, a little bit of wick, but to me that was confirming that we were going to head lower, right? Our bias, we had this huge downfall here and we kind of stayed, but then we continued down and then we were struggling to head higher above this point. So I was like, okay, I can probably get something to the short side, to the downside here. But as something I've noticed that I do, again, I've said it in previous videos before, but I always buy or I always try to sell on support and buy on resistance. And that's pretty much what I did all day today. I should have realized that. So here I ended up buying a contract on the very next candle, right? So next candle here, this is where we entered. And then as you can see here, we're trying to break VWAP, we're trying to break this support, and we're trying to break value area low. Not a very good time to start shorting, right? If we had broken all of those and then retested this area or this green box and then confirmed lower, that's my setup, right? But I think I took this a little bit early. We did have that reverse end we were looking for, or that end we were looking for. Um, but we just bounced off of all of those areas that I spoke about. We did break point of control here on this red, so that's kind of what I was thinking. But instead, we just kind of grinded our way higher, right? So again, bounce, come back, bounce again, right? And then this time we actually followed through. It was close though, and I had a good feeling about the trade, but once we started getting here and there was like no selling, I was like, yeah, I lost the trade. So that trade was about $170 loss. It's fine, right? And I did add two contracts because I thought we were heading lower at this point. We had this nice reverse hammer on higher volume, not the best, but not the worst. Right on this again, support zone, but it just didn't follow through. So we take the loss. I would call this maybe a C plus trade. It just didn't work out. It's fine. And then here, same thing. This time we bought in three contracts here, and we did actually end up winning. But what happened was I saw this candle and I got scared, right? If I had held and kept my stop loss where it was and not be afraid to lose that, it would have worked. So now why did I take this? To be honest, this wasn't exactly my setup, right? But again, if we look at the green boxes and how I had them, here we broke higher volume, pinned, right? Even though it's red, we still pinned down, wick down here, but then finished green and then continued higher, right? So on this candle. So I was like, okay, I don't mind getting in there, I don't mind getting in here. Um, but it's not exactly my setup because today was a very weird day in terms of confirming the volume, confirming how much higher we would go. And we did go higher, don't get me wrong, and we continued to bounce off this zone here, but there was nothing kind of signaling, okay, we're heading higher until you got that candle. But again, I learned my lesson from earlier. I was like, I'm not buying up there, that's too high. I wanted to pull back, see if it ever pulls back into my zone, but it never did, right? So we just continued to head higher and then we grinded, grinded, grinded. Then I was gonna take a nap. I did not take a nap. Instead, I decided to try to get in one more time, this time for another short here. I don't know why I'm going short here now that I look at it. We have a bullish, we're completely bullish, right? I should only be going for buys. So in reality, here, we form a zone up here. Let me see if I can fast forward this a little bit. So that way it goes kind of quick. So this is around, I can't remember what time I took this. This was around 3 o'clock. So about 3 o'clock or so, we decided to take a setup. So we'll fast forward. Okay, so around here, start looking for a setup here. End up taking one at exactly 3 o'clock, which is this candle right here. So I like that, right? But again, I want to wait for a pullback. I want to make sure we pull back. And I think too, what happened was I took it here thinking, okay, we're breaking here, we're breaking the zone here, right? This is a top zone. Again, I usually don't trade these top zones. So for whatever reason today, I was like, okay, I can try, right? And then we immediately pulled back, rinsed me, and I got stopped out immediately, pretty quickly here, at 8 or 9:18. So just above here. So one, I didn't even really have a clear stop, right? I kind of put it above this candle because it had the high red volume, but in reality, my stop should always be pivot points. So pivot point here, that's where my stop should have been. And actually, if it was there, I would have been fine, right? Because we did end up heading a bit lower off this value area low, right? So we would have had that, and then it just would have reversed on me. I would have been stopped out, but it would have been a win. How much of a win? Not that much. If that, it could have been break even. So, end up being down $200 on the day after that loss, and then it just reversed, and then we just started heading higher. Yeah, so is what it is. We got the Asian session tonight, so that's what I'm more familiar with. It just sucks taking losses like these on your day off because it's like, you didn't make any money and you just lost money. So it's tough, but I'm okay with these losses. They're learning points for me. Um, I'm not going to trade during the day until I can practice it more too, right? I don't really know how this market moves during the day. I'm so used to trading at night. I'm used to the volume at night. I'm used to how things move at night. So that's just kind of how we're going to go about things. But yeah, I think too, whenever you have losing days like these, like it kind of puts some doubt in your mind, like, oh, can I really do this? So today, like, I know that I'm eligible. I can take a payout now if I want. Um, and I would really love to do so. I would really love to do so. But at the same time, it's like, I understand that I don't need to take a payout right now. You know, I don't need to take a payout right now because we're trying to build our account balance up. We're trying to pass all of these accounts too. right? So I have to be patient, which is something that I had trouble with today. And I just have to make sure that I stick with the plan. Today wasn't really the best way to stick with the plan going over all those trades. It's like I could have done a better job, but I didn't take one A plus setup because there was none, right? Not one at all. So I have to be really patient. I just have to take my time. I have to understand that, hey, we gotta be patient. We gotta focus on the process. We gotta do what we have to do in order for us to get to where we want to go. I think another thing that's been plaguing my mind too is that, oh, rebill's coming up soon. So rebill for these accounts is on May 15th. So that's in a few days, right? And we're off the pace a little bit. We're about $1,300 away, maybe $1,200 away, I think. Um, so it's just one of those things where it's like I want to be able to pass my accounts by that time, so I don't have to pay $200 to keep them going. But at the same time, like I know that I can do it. I not by that date. I don't have to do it by that date, but what I do understand is that okay, like it doesn't matter if it's the 15th, you know? Like if I pay the $200, fine, but hopefully by the end of the month for sure, pass the accounts. After we pass the accounts, we pay the activation fee, and then we try to make our money back and then some. So it's not a rush. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. So, but yeah, that's it for this video today, guys. Hope you guys had a good Mother's Day weekend. It was a crazy weekend for me because a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. Um, but today on my day off, we took a losing day, which sucks, but I am able to get some rest today before heading back to work tomorrow, which is good. So hopefully you guys had a better start to the week than I did. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend as well. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of the trading week. And hopefully for myself, we're able to bounce back and do what we have to do in order to um, get to the place where we want to go, right? Which is passing these accounts, getting our first payout, and just keep surviving. So yeah, guys, hope you guys are doing well and keep trading stoically.